Ciao ragazzi! In this video, you will revise the imperative mood and learn how to attach pronouns to imperative verbs. As you know, the imperative mood is used to give orders, instructions, or advice in a very direct way. There are affirmative imperatives and negative imperatives. So affirmative imperatives are used when you are telling someone to do something. For example, open the door, read the chapter, or complete the exercises. And then, of course, negative imperatives are used when you are telling someone not to do something. So don't cross the road, don't open the window, or don't speak during the movie. So let's revise how imperative verbs work. We will look specifically at the tu and the voi forms because when you are giving instructions, orders, or advice, you are usually talking to one person or to a group of people. So looking at affirmative imperatives to start off with, for are verbs, the tu form of the imperative will end in a, and for both ere and ire verbs, the tu form will end in I. So these ere and ire endings are the same as the regular present tense, only the are verbs really change in this form of the imperative. So let's look at some examples. If you're talking to one person and you're telling one person to listen, this would be ascolta. If you're telling one person, get the bag, prendi la borsa. Or if you're telling one person to finish their homework, finisci I compiti. The voi form is simple because it's just like the regular present tense. So are verbs end in ate, ere verbs in ete, and ire verbs in ite. So if you're telling a group of people to listen, all of you listen, ascoltate. Everyone get your bags, prendete le vostre borse. Guys, finish your homework. Ragazzi, finite I vostri compiti. The negative imperative is a little bit different. So in the tu form, we will use non and then the infinitive of the verb. So non are, non ere, non ire. So for example, if you're telling one person, don't eat in class, non mangiare in classe. So you can see the regular infinitive ending, and we've got non before it. If we're telling one person, don't write on the desk, non scrivere sul banco. Or if you're telling one person, don't sleep till late, non dormire fino a tardi. In the voi form, we simply use non followed by the regular voi endings. So non ate, non ete, non ite. So if you're telling a group of people, all of you, don't eat in class, non mangiate in classe. Everyone, don't write on the desks, non scrivete sui banchi. Guys, don't sleep till late. Ragazzi, non dormite fino a tardi. So now we come to our pronouns, and you have seen these before. You know that we have direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns. Our direct object pronouns tell us who or what. So mi, ti, lo, la, ci, vi, and li or le, depending on whether the people or the things are masculine or feminine. And our indirect object pronouns tell us to whom or to what, and they are mi, ti, gli, le, ci, vi, and gli again. So in Italian, you can actually attach your pronouns to verbs, and this makes your speech or your text much more succinct, more economical, and it flows better and it avoids repetition. So you have your imperative verb and you have the pronoun, and you simply attach the pronoun directly to the end of the verb. And this, of course, makes more sense when we look at some examples. So, get the bag, prendi la borsa, but you may have already mentioned the bag in your previous sentence, or it may be obvious in the context of what you're saying that you are talking about the bag. So you just want to refer to it with a pronoun. So in English, we would just say, get it. In Italian, we take our imperative verb prendi and we attach la directly to the end. Prendila, get it. And of course, we've chosen la because we're referring to la borsa. Another example, everyone get your bags. Prendete le borse. So we have already made clear that we're talking about the bags. We don't want to repeat that again. In English, we would say everyone get them. And in Italian, prendetele. So the le refers to le borse, and we've attached it directly onto the end. Prendetele. So we saw earlier that the negative imperative in the tu form uses infinitive endings, so the are, ere, and ire endings. We can still attach pronouns to infinitive verbs, but we have to do one more thing before we do this. So we have our infinitive verb, we have our pronoun, but before we attach our pronoun to the verb, we need to remove the final E. And once we've done that, we can then attach it to the end. So let's look at some examples because it is much clearer in examples. So don't get the bag, non prendere la borsa. But if you want to say don't get it and use a pronoun, non prenderla. So as you can see, we have removed the final E here. Otherwise it would have been prenderela, which sounds a bit strange. It's much easier to say when we remove that final E. Another example, don't use the phone. Non usare il telefono. If we just want to use a pronoun and say don't use it, non usarlo. So we've removed the E from usare and we've attached lo directly onto the end, non usarlo. So continue to practice attaching pronouns to imperatives and infinitive verbs, and be sure to ask your teachers if you have any questions. Arrivederci e buon lavoro.